We are live.
Okay, let me just mute this video. There we go. So hi everybody and welcome to the Three Pentacles YouTube live, except tonight we are the Two Pentacles because our friend Sharon is not very well. So if everybody could send us some healing vibes, that would be fabulous.
We need like a cardboard cutout of each other, don't we, just in case?
Yeah, we do actually. So who are the Three Pentacles? It's myself, Claire and Sharon. And we're three friends who recently ditched our 9-to-5 corporate jobs to build our dream businesses. So the purpose of setting up this channel was to share our experience that we went through in terms of doing that, and give you tips, help you along the way, help you on your journey. And we're called Three Pentacles because we actually channel the energy of the Three Pentacles Minor Arcana card in the tarot deck. So that represents combined value and power of collaboration in business. And we go live every Monday night at 7 o'clock UK time in the hope of connecting like-minded souls to create a soul-led business community. So if you're live, let us know. Put a comment in the chat. If you're watching with kids around, you might want to put earphones on because the odd swear word is known to pop out. Yeah. So this week's theme is facing financial fears. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And I'll start, shall I? Because it was my idea to come up with this topic because it's a big one. So when you leave the security of a salary and a monthly paycheck where you know what amount you're going to be earning each month to running your own spiritual business and not having that security and not knowing what you're going to be earning each month, it's very scary. So I thought we could talk about how we've kind of overcome that. But Claire, you're more recent than me. I've had a couple of years to get used to that feeling of not having that paycheck, whereas I think it's been a couple of months for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, so I've had I think Sharon's in the same situation, but well, not the same situation. She'll have had a notice pay, but I at least had my redundancy pay to fall back on. So yeah, it wasn't expected, and I didn't really plan my finances for going going full-time in my own business. And I think that's the first sort of takeaway, isn't it? Like a lot of people, like all of us, even though we sort of would love to do it, it's hard to take that leap. And the more and more I talk to people who have built their own businesses, like no one planned this unless you are very, very shrewd. Like most people got redundant or something happened, some life event happened, and this is all to do with the spiritual, isn't it? That, you know, this tension starts to build and the universe will sort it out for you. It's like, right, go and do this soul purpose then. So yeah, then starts the biggest lessons really. And yeah, money, such a big one, because if you think about sort of, my head always goes to divine masculine and feminine. So the feminine side is the energy and our abundance mindset and like how we sort of cultivate this open-heartedness, and the masculine is like basically the physical, like the pentacle energy of that. So you've got the energy side and you've got this physical currency that we have in the world that is actually teaching us how to be this abundant. So it's no different, you know, it's really no different. So whilst it is a big challenge, I think as a spiritual business, we're more equipped. I think we're probably just more like the type of people that would be more equipped to sort of take on this challenge and see it as a lesson and use it for our own learnings. You know, it doesn't make it easy, but yeah, I guess I've just sort of coped with it for now. For not having that steady salary, of like turning it and going, oh wow, like I get to create anything. Tomorrow some money could come in, I could do anything. Like I've got like, you know, probably too much going on in my head. It's like, well, I could just put a course out tomorrow, I could do this, or I could, you know, there is the beauty in that, like your sort of capability is endless. However, it's not guaranteed, is it? To, you know, nothing's guaranteed in life, but it's just that sort of fear and uncertainty of when the money's actually coming in.
Yeah, there's a really fine balance between not going into like a lack fear mindset and having that abundant mindset. There's a really fine balance, because you've still got to do the practical things. You've got to be a lot more aware of what you've got coming in and going out, so you know exactly what you need to earn for the month, of which before I left it all to my husband Gary to do. And then I thought, no, I need to. I actually did, and I'm going to share the woman's Facebook page. It's called Lisa McMurphy. I did a free challenge with her, and we had to fill this workbook, and it's just coming back to me now. And we had to actually work out how much I needed to earn, and I had no idea, because that's the type of person that I was. I'm not now.
Yeah. I've done a similar thing recently with someone else, like actually trying to help you figure out your hourly and daily and how much you actually want to work. And like there are resources out there, like you say, out there. We can pop those in the comments.
Yeah, it was a really good exercise to do, because then I know, right, this is what's going out in bills. That's what I need to earn. I got no idea. So once you do that, you feel a lot better. That made me feel a lot better, because I'm like, right, I've got a bit of control now. But then you can't then go into a lack mindset of saying, oh, I can't afford that, can't afford this, can't do that. I'm never going to earn enough. You know, why did I do this? All of that negative mental chatter. If you let that occupy your mind, then it will become a reality. So yes, do the practical work and work out what's going out, what you've got to come in. But don't then think, right, that's how much I need to earn to cover that. You're limiting yourself. So you've got to get this fine line, and you've got to balance the scales of this mental chatter. And like you said, I loved what you just said about thinking, yeah, I can do this, I can create this, I can put this ebook out, and I can bring some money, and like I'm free to do whatever I want to do. I'm not tied down with a boss in a company and red tape and having to go up through the hierarchy to get permission to do things. So yes, it's terrifying not having that comfort blanket, not having sick pay, not having somebody paying into your pension, half of your pension in, you know, it's terrifying. So it's really important that you work on your mindset, and a positive money mindset is really important. I think that's my biggest tip.
Yeah, I think it's also to be really compassionate with yourself, and even if you are thinking those things, that's okay, because we've literally grown up in a world now for thousands of years that just that doesn't work that way. So it is a lot of reprogramming. It's a lot of doing that inner work. And I heard something really interesting the other day on a podcast, which I want to share. And I was like, oh God, I love this stuff. Like, so if you think about spirituality, so you were like, you know, as a business, those words sort of don't feel like they go together, because when Christianity was born, when the patriarchy took over, when Christianity was born, that was when, you know, obviously the power of the women sort of declined, the men took over, the monks took vows of poverty. So straight away, it's like, I'm not for this money as a spiritual being, as a well, it wasn't really religious, but you know, as a spiritual person, I am going to take a vow of poverty. So we're still living out these wounds today in spiritual businesses, because poverty mindset, I think, does run, or we feel like, oh, well, you know, I just want to help people. Like, we can get a little bit, you know, very much in our feminine and just wanted to show up and be of service. And of course you do. Like, of course, that's the reason that we go into this. But I see a lot of people who are sort of struggling with this, because, yeah, like you say, it's this sort of, well, you know, we don't need a lot. Like, we don't obviously need all the riches and stuff. Like, it doesn't always help. But I think that poverty and spirituality is not really helping businesses grow as much as they could. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all divine timing, isn't it? It's all perfect. It's all, you know, we're meeting it, and it's great. Like, we're seeing so much more rise, and so many like people helping us with that side of things. Like you say, people like helping you with the structural, the masculine side. But then, yeah, that inner work, that was just blew my mind. I was like, oh yeah, shit, like that's because 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, like people were taking vows of poverty, and
yeah,
and then I think it's like impossible to build a spiritual. doesn't matter whether it's a spiritual business, like, you know, it's building your own business is, like you kind of off on a back foot already in mindset because of generational, ancestral.
Yeah, exactly. Just saying hi to Sharon. She's joining us, but on the chat. So hi, Sharon. Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, let us know as well. Yeah, let us know how you're feeling. Obviously, if you do want to type anything out, what your experiences of this, because I think she, obviously, well, she's full-time now as well, so it'd be good to hear how she's finding it. But yeah, I just wanted to share as well something that my friend Eve, my wonderful friend Eve, gave me this book, and it's called The Wealthy.
Yes, I've been meaning to get that.
Yeah, The Wealthy Spirit, and it's little daily affirmations for financial stress reduction. So it's just nice, simple things. Again, it's like, obviously you can go off, you can do a course, you can do all sorts of things, but this has been really helping me. It's just dead easy, like a daily little insight, a little learning, and then an affirmation for the day. And I'm not saying, like, you know, obviously we can't just bloody visualize and like we have to take action, but affirmations like really help me anyway, and just like learning, reminding myself constantly first thing in the morning, just little lessons like that, like this one yesterday. I think I shared it, or was it Saturday? And it was so apt because it was snowing and it was freezing and I felt frozen. I think the more the winter, like I was talking in my blog today about the elements, like the more it's frozen outside, the more frozen I feel and getting stuck in fear. And this little passage yesterday was all about winter. And it might be winter for you now. Like, you know, you might not feel the money coming in, but spring will come again and So it was just like spirit, like Sophia, for me, I call Sophia, like spirit was just there, like hand on my back. And I was like, this is me. And then we can get like really, you know, excited about these signs. But yeah, like obviously tapping into that spiritual side more, you know, will help that business.
I was going to say, obviously I'm in Akashic Records. I've got chocolate on my arm, sorry. I've been eating chocolate biscuits. Obviously I'm an Akashic Records practitioner as well. So I know in one of my past lives, and I've had a couple of clients who've had this vows of poverty. One client was a little girl who was living on the streets, had bare dirty feet, and just saw the rich people going past to the castle thinking, I'll never have that. That's like a different world. That will never be me. And she carried that energy through into this life. So we cleared that away. So as well as, you know, having a lack mindset from the family that you grow up with, hearing things around money, such as, you know, rich people are evil, to be rich you've got to work really, really hard and be a slave, hearing those kind of things. You've also got to bear in mind you could have had a past life that will be affecting your money mindset as well. It's really interesting to look into that side of things.
Yeah, it's everything, isn't it? It's like there's so many different layers to it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, affirmations make a real difference. So in my spiritual life coaching, I get my clients to write down all of the negative chatter that's in the head. So everything negative, not necessarily, I don't necessarily work with people on money mindset. It's spiritual life coaching. So it's kind of negative beliefs that they've been brought with as a child, but you could apply it to a money mindset. So write down everything negative you believe about money, like I never have enough money, I don't deserve money, wanting money is greedy, all of the worst things that you feel about it, so that you can actually get it out and onto paper, and out of your head and onto paper, and then just flipping those affirmations around and coming up with positive affirmations, and then having those either, I think the best way to do it is having them on post-it notes or on the notes on the phone, and then just repeating them in the morning when you do your morning routine, like your meditation, maybe your yoga, and then as part of your morning routine you have these positive affirmations to repeat daily. And by doing that, what you're actually doing is changing the neural pathways in your brain, and eventually you will create this positive mindset. And then of course it's law of attraction, isn't it? So if you're thinking more positively, you're just going to attract positive things to you. So you're going to attract money, you're going to attract abundance. But if you're thinking all of the negative kind of things, then that's what you're going to attract to you as well. So I think it's dead important to catch it as soon as you kind of leave your corporate job and start your spiritual business. Catch it early on. Don't let it be a thing that grows, a negative thing that grows and grows and grows and grows slowly over time. Catch it in the beginning and work on those affirmations in the beginning, because it's all going to affect how abundant your business is going forward.
And just a reminder that this takes time. So like I say, it's not easy to just switch our thoughts. Like it's, and I've got a little bit of a bee in my bonnet with the law of attraction these days, and like, it's your fault if you attract negative things. Like, we can't control everything. We're going to have negative thoughts. It's the way we are programmed. That's 80% of our brain. So it's impossible to just flip that switch. But yeah, it is the consistency and the commitment that eventually, this might take bloody years. I think don't beat yourself up more as well, shooting that second arrow back at you going, oh shit, I thought a negative thought. Like, that's not the point. I think what Rebekah's saying, without putting words in your mouth. But the commitment to a practice, or like this, like little daily affirmations, and sticking to it, because we can often do these things and go, oh, didn't fucking work, I'm still not bringing money in. It's like, well, actually, have you committed to something? Like, are you actually showing up on your social media? Are you consistently writing copy? Are you consistently saying affirmation? Like, and obviously there's going to be times, let's bring it back to the feminine because I love it, in times in our cycle. Like right now, I'm in my premenstrual phase, and my inner critic comes out, and the snappiness my hormones are starting to will just drop. So there's going to be times of the month where we might not feel so positive as well. So again, tapping into our inner wisdom and our bodies and our own cycles, especially if you're a woman. If you don't have that, if you don't bleed, then use the moon cycles. Like, originally we would sort of track with the moon, but anyway, that's a whole other topic for another day. But I just wanted to touch on that. Like, not shaming ourselves for any negative thoughts that do come. Something that I wanted to share as well, like, I've been listening to a book called It's Not Your Money, and it's brilliant, and it's very much about what I said at the beginning, which is like, money is just another form of energy. And it's, for me, something that has really helped me is actually just not so much focusing more on the words about the money, like I'm not going to get money in, but actually being more open to just receiving in general. So if I've received something, a bit of wisdom, even if it's a little gift, like my husband bought me this stand-up desk, and at first I was like, that's really nice, but I don't deserve it. Like, my poverty mindset came in. I was like, I don't deserve it. I was like, no, thank you. I am willing to receive. So I have this little prayer that I say, like when I do my little rituals in the morning, when I have my cacao, I have this little prayer that I say. It's called the Change Me prayer. I just wondered if it's worth just got some time. I was just saying it and just like taking these words for a moment. And like I say, it's not a switch, but the more we start to recite things, the more we can believe it. And now I feel like I'm at first it was like, oh, do this. But now it's like, I can say it and I can really feel it sinking. And it's not so much about I don't think the word money's even in it, but it's more about just being open. So I'm just going to say it because I've got it up now. Divine beloved, allow me to give with complete ease and abundance, knowing that you are the unlimited source of all. Let me be an easy, open conduit for your prosperity. Let me trust that all my own needs are always met in amazing ways, and that it's safe to give freely as my heart guides. And equally, let me feel wildly open to receiving. I love that. May I know my own value, beauty, worthiness without question. Let me allow others the supreme pleasure of giving to me. May I feel worthy to receive in every possible way. Change me into one who can fully love, forgive, and accept myself, so I may carry your light without restriction. Let everything that needs to go, go. Let everything that needs to come, come. I am utterly your own. I am you. You are me. We are one. All is well.
Oh, I like that.
You like that with the divine, and I'd love that. Like, change me into someone who can love and accept myself, wildly open to receiving, supreme pleasure of give. Like, I deserve money. Yes, like this is coming to me. It's just like that open channel, and I love the language of it. So I just thought I'd share that. I can always pop it in the
put it in the description of this video.
Yeah, Tosha Silver wrote the book, but I've just been listening to it. She's actually got a lovely voice as well, so that helps the words going.
I love that prayer. Sharon said also dealing with the poverty mindset of others can be difficult when people think that because you offer spiritual healing, you shouldn't be charging much. Yes, I have
Such a good point.
Other people saying that, like they will have a corporate job, and then on the side they're providing Reiki, and they're probably not charging for it. And then they ditch the corporate job, they set up their own spiritual business, and then they feel really uncomfortable about charging for the Reiki. That's often a problem with people, but I get on my soapbox big time about this. Oh, House of Healing, is that our friend that was at Brighton with us?
It's Martine.
Martine, hey Martine, beautiful prayer. Oh yeah, with Sharon as well, so Sharon knows Martine as well. I get on my soapbox about this big time because it's an energy exchange. First of all, so if you're providing a service and not getting anything back, then there's not an equal energy exchange. That's number one. And it's not valuing yourself or your time or the service that you're providing. You just put in a zero value on it. And let me tell you, there's massive value on anything spiritual wise that you're offering out. There's massive value. And then the third point I like to make, see, I'm on the soapbox now.
Well, you're a sales lady at heart, so this is like, you coach us on this. I remember me and Sharon.
Oh yeah, I do, yeah.
You're like, no, it needs to be double that. We're like, what?
What was the third point? God, now.
Sorry.
It'll come back, hold on. So yeah, value, energy exchange, yes. So were people benefiting more when you were doing your corporate job or when you were providing these spiritual treatments, let's say Reiki? Are people benefiting more? They're benefiting more from the Reiki. How can you provide that Reiki more then and benefit people more? By earning an income that's going to cover all of your outgoings. And if you're offering that free or at low cost, then you're going to end up having to go back to your corporate job and you won't be benefiting the people with that beautiful healing that you're doing. So those are the three things that I say when people think, oh, I'm charging like 25 quid an hour for Reiki. That really gets my goat.
Such a good point, isn't it? And I think even if you're not full-time, like it's the same with copyright. So I'm obviously in the world of, like, I'll say obviously all the time, like it's not obvious, but I do copywriting and marketing, and the world of copywriting, so many industries, so many freelance, small business that maybe charge for a project or a service like that. It's highly unregulated, isn't it? That is the problem with, I guess, that's one of the big challenges for sole traders, small businesses, because people charge what they like. But you're actually, if you're charging low, you're affecting everybody's ability to earn. Sorry, that sounds like a burden, but you know what I mean? Like if someone goes in at a really low price, then, you're actually devaluing that industry. So there's a lot of chat in the marketing world at the moment about this sort. Well, there probably always has been, but I'm now aware of it. It's like, if you're actually cheapening yourself, oh God, I've got feedback. I don't want to hear myself. You're cheapening the rest of them. So even if you weren't doing this full time, charge as if you were full time, because eventually, you might not need to, but I would say, I think I worked with a business coach, mindset coach, and it was sort of finding that happy medium, wasn't it? Like, what's your minimum price? Almost like your budget. What's that minimum price? What's that scary price? And then what feels, enough to ask, but, so don't cheapen yourself, but also don't go in a massive big books or whatever. But yeah, definitely a reasonable price. Do a little bit of research. What else are people charging that maybe have been doing this full time, and don't be scared to ask for more. But yeah, I guess it's all contextual as well, isn't it? It depends what your aim is, or what you want to do. But yeah, it's such a good point.
Yeah, definitely.
I couldn't leave this call without mentioning the root chakra.
Okay, yeah.
And like tips for sort of working with finances as well.
Yeah.
People who watch this might know this, but energetically, like a lot of the Three Pentacles, money, finances, home, structure, building businesses, there's a lot of energy around our root chakra, so the base of our spine. God, we could do a whole other hour of this, couldn't we? But I just wanted to touch on it because I'm doing quite a bit of work in this area at the moment. Things like doing my chanting with Ganesh, who is the remover of obstacles, and he really like removes obstacles in this world, in your 3D world now, like in the whatever you're doing, if you're building a business or your home life, like, so that chant every day has really energetically helped me. Been focusing in my yoga teacher training as well. We did like a whole seated practice, so I'm currently developing like a bit of just a seated yoga flow. And I was like, yes, because that's what I just need to do, is like work with my root, get grounded. So yeah, grounding, I am safe, I am supported, all that good root chakra work. Yeah. Again, go find it. We can post some links, but energetically, I think as well, working on your root chakra is key for finances.
Yeah, definitely. And then I just had a couple of things like focusing on gratitude to get you out of the lack mindset. So what are you actually grateful for, instead of thinking about, I'm not bringing enough money in this month.
I was doing that today.
Yeah. Surrounding yourself with people who've got an abundance mentality. So don't surround yourself with people going, oh my God, what have you done? And focusing on your strengths and doing more of what you love is really important as well. Getting yourself in that right vibration, the right mindset, getting yourself out of lack mindset. A really good activity to do is to think, what feeling do I want to feel at this moment in time? What gets me to that feeling? And then doing that activity will help you get out of that panic and fear around money coming in. And then just one thing I wanted to mention, obviously I went from like a six-figure salary to earning a lot less than that. So I had to go through an exercise of really curbing my spending, which was difficult because, you know, I used to shop at Harrods, go to spa days, have my nails and hair done, and I had to stop all of that. And it was a process that I had to go through, which was very tough. And I've decided to create a group coaching course on that process. I use spiritual techniques to do it. And I run this group coaching like 2 or 3 times a year, and the next intake is May. So if you're interested in learning that, if you've got a problem with spending, just go to my website, www.libralight.net, go to group coaching, and there's a link where you can add yourself to the wait list for it.
Amazing. I'll be on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as well, if you're not sort of full-time yet, getting a grip on that. I think I started to, and then obviously, like I say, universe sorted me out and I got made redundant, but I'd started to look at it more closely. As you started talking about it more, I was like, oh yeah, you know, it's easy to just ignore it when you're working, maybe you've got a steady salary. It's so easy. So yeah, breaking those habits is definitely key. When you don't have to
spend with abandon, and then learning not to do that is so difficult.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, once you get it, like Sam, most of the work is actually doing the bloody work, isn't it? It's actually sitting down and making a spreadsheet, doing the practical stuff, actually looking at it. I went to like a business strategy day, and how many of it was all female like solopreneurs, and how many of us said in the room, oh my God, I can't even look at my finances. Like, still people actually full-time in a business, not finances.
I hate it.
That's the first thing, just like the root chakra is the first thing we need to work with.
I'm going like this inside, thinking about looking at finance spreadsheets. I literally hate it, but you have to do it.
Have to, yeah. And I must have known in some way, because I did start tracking that more purposefully, as you know, just before I got released from the corporate world. So yeah, it's got to be done, ladies and men. Everyone's got to do it, unfortunately, but that's the human side of things, isn't it? I've got to merge the human and the spiritual. Well, it's all the same, you know, we're all one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for those that joined us live. Have we got a topic for next week? I think there was something in there.
It's my topic next week. It's another big one. This is for the women, because I do run women's circles, so sorry blokes if right, but you know, still turn up, you'll learn something. Next week we're going to be talking about all about the sisterhood wound. You don't know what that means, come and join us next week and find out. But obviously a lot of spiritual businesses are female led, and when we start to build a business, we can this can bring up things in our female relationships, and yeah, we're probably going to dig in a bit into that sort of competition element that we talked about before, and sort of how it actually does really help us work on things like our relationship with our sisters. So I'll be talking about that with my sisters.
Looking forward to it.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, if you are watching this on record, if you could pop a hashtag replay in the comments, and also you can drop any questions or thoughts in there, we will still get back to you. And also, if you are watching this, we would really appreciate a like, a comment, a share, so that we can build this community and share tips around how to run your own spiritual business. But yeah, that's us for tonight, and hopefully we'll see you next Monday at 7 o'clock.